Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. It is July 12th. This is the weekend video. It's going to be a bit short this week since still not feeling 100%, but I wanted to get something out on the weekend here. So let's get down to it and start talking about what happened last week for starters. Okay, so let's do a quick weekend review here of the week of July 7th. Another week, another all-time high for the SPY and Qs, but the indexes could not hold on as we got more tariff announcements on Japan, Canada, South Korea, Philippines, and some others, which came out. So some of the tariff talk kind of beat the markets back. And there was, of course, more news about a 50% tariff on copper, timing to be determined. So, and interestingly, the government's decided to take a financial interest in MP Materials, which is a rare earth miner. And of course, everybody was going Google about the fact that NVIDIA made the $4 trillion mark before pulling back there. So as a net result here for the week, we did end down slightly on all the indexes with all that tariff talk. Energy and utilities were the sectors that gained the most, and financials, communication services down the most. We've got some financials coming up this week in earnings. Pretty much 2-year flat, but the 10 years squeaking up here. It's moving up, so the yield curve is steepening, as they say, which could be interesting as the longer dated treasuries get more expensive. It's the short terms that the Fed can control. US dollar finished up this week, 0.9%, trying to hold a range. And Bitcoin, another big sort of news, it broke out, trading around 108 last week, trading around 117, 118 area last I checked. So that was the week in review. And before we move on, just a quick plug for my books that are available on Amazon. 2 swing trade books. The first one, How to Swing Trade. Second one, a little bit more in depth, Profiting as an Active Trader. And of course, my latest book and last book, How to Trade Options, if you're interested in options, complete guide to trading options with some strategies and risk management that I use. So if you want to check those out, the links are in the description below, and they're on Amazon under my author name. So you can check them out there. And let's move on and take a look at some indexes now. Here, kind of pretty choppy in a range here. Yeah, we do seem to be holding this 200-day moving average, but again, kind of waiting to see what inflation data is coming out. And again, same 10-year chopping in a range right now. The Dow, again, kind of a choppy week. Yeah, I would expect maybe more like that next week, but we'll see if earnings can really get things sparked up here. You can see we came pretty close to testing these highs here, and didn't quite make it last week or the week before, and again just rejected this week. So again, we're seem to be sort of topping out here. Same comments with the Qs. Having trouble getting some momentum, maybe waiting for some earnings numbers. Again, high, but couldn't hold the new high, so pulled back there, and I guess we might just be sort of chopping in a range here. The SPY, again, same comment. We're just kind of at a pretty high level here, and we're just sort of chopping along, pretty overbought. And again, on a weekly, we're really overbought on the stochastics, not quite so much on the RSI, but again, this nice move up in the previous 2 weeks, and then the last week we just ran out of buyers. And IWM, again, ideally same comments, basically chop, chop, chop. Tried to break out, couldn't do it this week. Doing a bit of a pullback, and the VIX didn't really go anywhere, just hanging around down there. The dollar starting to make its way back up here, which is it's got to break this this downtrend line, so it's coming up to that here pretty shortly, and we'll see if we can make it through there. And yeah, this is it. Bitcoin's on fire. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Nice rock on Bitcoin. And that's it. on last week, turned it off or came out of it. I'm just going to wait to see what the banks are going to report next week. So I think it's good to step to the sidelines on this one, but had a nice run up on that. As far as Nvidia, still holding some Nvidia. Just keeps going higher. PLTR, I'm still in a little bit of PLTR. Silver had a really nice day on Friday. Just, this was the prior high here. We stopped out Thursday, didn't quite get through, but then Friday just ripped higher. So I don't have this particular stock, SLV Silver Trust, but I've got a bunch of silver mining stocks and silver investments in some of my Canadian funds that are doing very well in the last day or two. TNA hit the 200-day moving average. That was one I had last week. Sold it, and same with TQQ, seems to be flatlining. So that's it for what I've got going on. Have a lot of energy to start looking at some possible trades, but I still like Google. It's looking like it's really trying to break out here, and just watch it at this 180.50 level. Just seems like it's getting ready to break out. So I'll be watching that. And Uber almost got to 100. I think it was almost. It was at 98 anyway, 97.50. Pulling back now. I think it could be bought back here again. And UNH, I'm still watching UNH. I don't. Every time I look at the premium on the options, just selling options down here, there isn't much premium there. So, but I'll keep eyeing that and see if there's some opportunity to get in there. It had a bit of a pop last week. I'm not sure what that was, but those are the ones that I'll keeping an eye on. But again, hopefully I'll be feeling better on Monday, and then I can really start to focus on getting some other ideas out. Looking ahead here, there's your levels on the Dow Q SPY and IWM. And economic events, we do have CPI data, so that's going to be highly in focus as we find out what the inflation is doing as maybe these tariffs start to take effect. We got Fed speakers sort of scattered throughout the day, and then we have the PPI data on Wednesday. So should be an interesting week of economic data. As I said, we're starting to really get into the thick of earnings seasons. We've got GPM, Wells Fargo, BlackRock Tuesday morning. We've got Morgan Stanley Golden Wednesday morning. UAL, of course, DAL posted last week. Good numbers. And then a big one will be in Netflix. That'll be one that'll be on people's radar. So, so we'll have an interesting week coming up here. And what are my high level thoughts right now? Markets, again, at all time highs. But they couldn't hold as these tariff news stuff just kept getting rolled out. And if this continues, I can just see the markets kind of holding here because I feel like we aren't seeing a huge tick up in inflation. So maybe the White House is feeling more emboldened to add more tariffs, and they're looking at their coffers, and there's money pouring in there. So I don't know. Maybe they're feeling more emboldened to do more tariffs. So we'll see what happens there. We can see the dip buyers are still supporting the markets. It's really hard to be a bear, but the markets are kind of on, are being kept guessing by these tariff talks. So let's see what happens with earnings season. Solid numbers I'm expecting from a lot of the companies. Question is, are these results already baked in at sort of a 24 times PE ratio, which is kind of where we are right now? So it'll be interesting to see if what happens as these earnings numbers roll out. So that's it, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on Monday morning, hopefully. And that's it.